uh, at least some, at least an ounce, or earn it. One of the two. But if you can accumulate wealth over time, and when you accumulate gold and silver, you're going to have a propensity not to sell it. You're going to hang on to that. Now, if you have dollars, you're going to spend them. You're going to, this emergency comes up, that emergency comes, you're going to spend them. But in the large part, most people will keep their collectible coins. They're going to keep their silver bullion. They're going to keep their gold bullion if they've been able to buy some to get into an ounce or a tenth of an ounce or a quarter of an ounce or a half ounce. They're going to keep what's in their sound money wallet. Now, this is the sound money wallet is a danger because for you and for the people doing it. Why? Because it's so easy to turn it to cash. Click at a button and it's cash and you got it, and you're going to spend it. See, but when it's physical, it's more difficult. And then you're engaged in that buying, selling process where when you're trying to sell it, everybody's trying to take advantage of you. I mean, that's just the way it is. They know you need to sell, so they're going to want to get it at the best price they can. And that's just, caviar emptor, that's just commerce. That's just the way life is. That's the way business is. Like it or lump it. That's the way it is. Always has been ever since there's been business. Okay? So what I teach you ultimately is to become debt free. And if you can discipline yourself enough to buy gold and silver on a recurring basis and accumulate it, then you can discipline yourself to budget. See, that's what it takes is discipline. Most people aren't willing to do that. Most people spend more than they got. They get deeper and deeper in debt, and they rely on that credit card. And that has such high interest rates. You can never get ahead. It's better to sacrifice early in life and learn how to budget and learn how to accumulate. Last night, we had a meeting way out in very, very, very little small town in Louisiana, Slaughter, Louisiana, about an hour away from my home. Woodrow Venable. I think Woodrow's on the call. Yeah, I see him. Hey, Woodrow, just wave. Hey, Woodrow. Woodrow's on the phone. I mean, on the Zoom. And now here, yeah, and Woodrow's older than me. And Woodrow and George Donaldson, first two people I enrolled the first night I was in the business in 7K, and both of them are still here with me. Okay? See, that's what you need, a good partner on the left, good partner on the right, that's going to be with you until the Lord takes them home. And in their cases, we're already talking about who replaces them. Woodrow had his son over, was a missionary, Kevin. And we already know that Kevin's going to take his business. And so Kevin is in training. And I'm going to be there to help Kevin like I will help Woodrow. But Woodrow was the number one copper earner for several years in 7K. as we were growing, as we were building. Does your business kind of just taper off a little bit? Yeah, with time, unless you know, have a consistent effort of building, 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 looking, looking, looking. And yes, you should always do that. It's like I've gone over this new 5-level PEG comp plan, and I've given you enough details now. I've trained enough on it. I'm going to still train on it because I want. I'm just waiting until we make sure that this is exactly where we're going to be, and then I'll give you all the detailed training you need. Okay. But I believe we're going to have some, and personally believe we're going to have some further enhancements to make it even better. But the thing that I've taught since day one of this is that for everyone that's making less than 2,000 a week right now, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Because you don't have to have an associate on your left and an associate on the right to get to be a copper. All you have to do is have two people on your left, two people on your right, and your volume. And one growth factor, if you're going to get the volume to get $1,000 check a week, you're going to have the growth factor. It's just going to, it's a natural part of building the business. It's a natural part of building the volume. So that's going to come. So that's why I say this plan will produce more people making a 6-figure income from the 80 percenters, not from the 20 percenters, from the 80 percenters. The people who are moved through network marketing like turtles. Like, see, Woodrow's a turtle, okay? Hey, Woodrow, my friend, great turtle. But see, Woodrow never stops crawling, never stops talking to somebody about 7K. Why? He knows it works. He knows that it's real. He knows all he's done is benefited from it, and all anyone else can do is benefit from it if they just do the same things he does. Woodrow 3 years ago couldn't get on a Zoom. Now look at him. Joins Zoom all by himself. Woodrow 4 years ago couldn't read an email, couldn't send a text, couldn't read a text. Woodrow 7 years ago, when we first started the business, well, we'd have to log in and show him what his volume was. We'd have to teach him what he did. But see, Woodrow persisted. He didn't let it he didn't get frustrated. I can get a little frustrated, but he persisted. He had somebody to help him. There was somebody there on the team. He had his wife that was pretty good at, logging on, seeing things. But we're a team. Woodrow's the great example that sets an example for a lot of people on here. Gary Capps, he's not been with us for 7 years. He's only been with us for I think about 3 years, pretty close to 3, maybe
Three and a
not
half.
3.5, not quite 4 yet, because that was a Cancun event. Okay.
Right.
And so Gary did the same thing, but he wasn't as technically disadvantaged as Woodrow was. Okay. But now here they are side by side. And what I'm going to tell you about a little slaughter is because part of Woodrow's team, and many of you have heard me talk about Armina, disabled, single mom, military vet, who couldn't rub two pennies together when she came to the first meeting to look at 7K. Didn't have enough money to pay her bills at the end of the month. Wanted to join that night, but couldn't because she didn't even have room on her credit card to join. But she needed a way to make money. Never had a savings in her life. Had her son in college. He's wanting to get an education, and she's trying to pay for that and pay her bills on disability income alone. Well, why am I telling you this? Is because, see, and you need to go into the band app. You gave, stories that matter. It's the one video I tell you need to send people. Out of the 3 videos that you send people, one is why your autosaver doesn't cost what you think it should. The other is the Courtney Ebb video. And then the George Donaldson, Woodrow, and Ermina video, the 3 stories that I kind of helped them with on that first video when we're teaching people how to do their stories. Ermina was at that meeting Friday at Woodrow. Friday night, when we're doing a meeting on Friday night, everybody, not Thursday, not Tuesday, it's Friday night. If y'all recall, that's when I call the meeting at George's, Friday night, November 17th, 2016. Look it up. My birthday even. And so Armina came back to the meeting the next week, still couldn't join, wanted to join, saw that this is something she could learn. Listen to my word, learn how to do. Learn how to do, because that's what it takes. It takes 2 years to learn, 3 to 5 years to build a big business, 2 years to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques as you integrate them into your life, as you integrate 7K into your life. What are you integrating? The company? No, you're integrating the philosophy of accumulating God's money, gold and silver, into your life. You're learning how to discipline yourself financially so you can improve yourself and your family financially. So you can leave a legacy for the first time. And God charges us to do that. We may not understand that or realize that, but he charges us to do that. The 3rd week when Armina came back, because I told her, do whatever it is to save enough money to put it aside to give enough room on your credit card to join. She did that. She disciplined herself enough to get her membership. And then when she's ready to join, that 3rd week, I asked her a very serious question. I said, Armina, you're going to need to buy your autosaver every month. That's about $115, $120 every month. Because I asked her why she was joining this business. She said to make money. The reason she joined was to earn extra income. I said, I don't want you joining if you're not going to buy your autosaver every month. You're going to have to do whatever it takes to buy your autosaver because that keeps your business on it. It's like your electricity bill. Yeah, Wayne Clark got that from me. It's one thing I taught everybody from day one. You own your own business and you got certain expenses to keep your business operating. And in this business, it's your autosaver. Because if you're not active, you can't make a check. If you're not active, you can't accumulate points. Can't accumulate points, you're never going to make a check. And if you're buying your autosaver, you get your points of your own autosaver yourself. Unlike many other businesses where you buy consumable products and you don't even get those points. So buy your autosaver once a month, do your 10 hours minimum. Well, I can put more hours in it than that. But I just want a commitment of 10 hours. Well, she came to every meeting, every Tuesday night. Very seldomly did she miss one. If she missed one, I don't even think she missed one that first year or two. She didn't enroll anyone until her 9th month in the business. 9 months. Was she talking to people? Absolutely. I mean, she even brought people to the meeting. Yes. We made the peak interest, did all that thing. 9 months. She persisted. She had patience. She persevered. See, all too often, people won't even go 6 months. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. It's impossible for a quitter to win. It's impossible for a quitter. Yes. Let me try and get some muting going on here. I'm sorry. But if everybody will stay muted, it'll work out a lot better here. I'm going to get this recording going on pretty soon. Okay. Because otherwise I have to find you to mute you. Okay. But I mean, she was excited. And then that just made her more committed to even go back and follow up and talk to more people. Well, here, I'm going to make a long story very short with Armina because she was there last night and we even talked about it last night. And you watch that video I'm talking about. In fact, every one of you ought to watch it right after this. It'll be much more meaningful to you then. Well, anyway, 2.5, maybe not quite 3 years later, I'm in Las Vegas. I'm doing a breakout session training. I'm kind of training on the autosaver, what to do, what stack and sell, how to show you a dashboard, I forget the training I was doing at that particular time. But I called her, right there in my training session. Had her on the phone. Now, she's been to conventions too, by the way. And we talked about just what I've talked about to you. And I asked her to pull up her dashboard on her stack and sell. And it showed that she had, I remember somewhere around, she bought somewhere around $11,000 in coins. Maybe 8,000, I can't even remember. But she had to make money to buy those coins. Y'all understand? Or she had to persevere and suffer to buy a coin instead of spending it on stuff that you get no return. Well, anyway, her coins were worth like $18,000 then. So she had a big return. So where could you take and put $8,000 in or $10,000, whatever it was? I can look up the numbers. But I'm not recording this right now, so it doesn't matter if my number's precise or not. But That was the whole point. And then I asked her a very serious question right there. She's never had a savings in her entire life. And in just 3 years' time, she's got a savings that's worth more than $18,000. Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit last night like that. And she pulled up her dashboard and said, Mr. Bob, it's over $23,000 right now. I just think about this. A, a disabled single mom just doing a little bit at a time, always stays plugged in, always doing it. Does she get frustrated every once in a while? Of course. But her people were at that meeting too. So she's got some serious people on her left and her right now. And so she'll earn extra income to go with her disability check. But she's got a savings that she never had in her entire life. Just look at it. Now, that can be greater for other people, but how it is for one person or the next person. And the key here is the discipline, the patience, the perseverance, the persistence, the consistency of doing the same thing over and over and over and keeping it simple. And those of you that will be here 2 and 3 years from now will be the ones that succeed. Those of you that aren't, you won't succeed. I mean, that's obvious. You won't succeed because you'll quit. You'll give up on yourself. That's the only person you're giving up on. We've had so many changes with this company. And it's a good thing. I mean, in the very beginning, the first couple of years, I mean, we must have 4 or 5 times we changed the comp plan. But that's all new startup companies. They're going to do that. Every company is going to start out and get to their optimum place. And we've had different comp plan changes over the years. We've had different price changes that you got to have price changes. Gold and silver changes price. So there got to be change is an inevitable part of life. How we deal with change is what's important. I'm not saying that I like change, but I'm saying I learned how to adapt to change. And I think you need to too, because you're going to always have change. The more we adapt to change, does that mean that we don't try to get things better? Oh, absolutely. We try to get things better. I'm still working to try to get things better with the comp plan. I won't give up. That's just not who Bob Reid is. I don't give up. And if they get aggravated at me because I don't get up, that's just too doggone bad because they're going to hear what I want to say. Period. I don't care because I believe in getting things better. Now, I believe that what I shared with y'all about this comp plan, and so I don't want any misunderstandings from my trainings. I mean, last week I showed you mine on Saturday, and everything's in your business hub. That's your control panel now. So you should be looking at your business hub. It tells you exactly what you need to do. And I showed y'all last week when in the training a week ago this time that I had like 13 or 14 growth factor left, and I had 9 growth factor right, but I had plenty of volume, like 12, 13,000 in volume on my pay side. But it says your paycheck is going to be 3,500. I say, if I don't get that growth factor, then my paycheck's going to be 3,500. It's not going to be 7,000. Well, it's up to me to get that growth factor. Now, believe me, I mean, I hope y'all understand that there's no way in heck that growth factor is going to be 9 by the end of the night. Okay? Ain't no way, because who's in control of that? Me. Okay? You think I'm going to let one little sale stop me from getting a $3,500 check? I taught y'all more about economics than that in this whole business. I taught you if you got 980 points on your your pay side and you're a copper, I taught you, hey, it's good to buy a coin and get 1,000 points than to get a $500 check and take 480 points and put it into loyalty points. I mean, that's crazy. You can buy a coin for $150 that's going to be worth more in the future and get a $500 check. You come out $350 cash flow ahead and a $150 coin in your pocket that was paid for by commissions. So I taught y'all that from day one about auto savers. That's why you have a family business pack, to be in control of your check and your business the whole time, not to build 3 centers. I've taught you never do that. Build one, the top one. The other is control centers. Future leverage center, future leverage after you get one built. Concentrate on one, build a foundation, and your ultimate goal is to get 1,000 people on your left team, 1,000 people on your right team. Well, you don't get there overnight. You get there by getting 25 people on your left team, 25 people on your right team, and you don't even have to sponsor them. Anybody else can put them there. That's auto savers. 20 points times 25 is 500 points. You get a $500 check extra a month. Hello, that's your first goal. That's the first thing you want to achieve. You don't even have to have a growth factor. You get a $500 check while you're accumulating wealth. Powerful. Just think about how powerful that is. Now, those 25 people, they're going to be trying to build. They're going to be working. They're going to be talking to people, maybe slow, maybe a little fast. Some of them are. But when that turns to 50 people, then that's enough to 2 $500 checks a month. When that turns to 200 people, it doesn't matter if you put them there, somebody else put them there, people underneath you put them there. See, always look at the long-term goal. The fact of duplication, the fact of multiplication, people telling people, other people telling other people. But if you're not engaged with that group, you don't set the example of hanging around the flagpole. As Richard Wayne Hansen and I say all the time, hang around the flag. But we learned it from Jim Rohn. Hang around the flagpole. Woodrow and Armenia are perfect examples. Georgetown, perfect examples of this. Evelyn Ware, perfect example of this. Now, she wasn't engaged for many, many years. She's engaged now. She was involved in politics and school boards and all this kind of other mess. That didn't make her any money. Now she's engaged. Now she can take advantage, but she'll go through the same process we all go through. I see other people on here, and I name other names just like I'm naming them. The same thing, and many of you fit in this category. But it all goes back to what I will record here in a minute. But you are the ones that get the benefit of what I'm saying today. And I hope it means something to you because hey, that's my whole desire is to help you achieve what you need to achieve with this vehicle. Vehicle of accumulating wealth, getting yourself financially independent ultimately, and helping other people do the same thing. I know no other vehicle that's going to do that. Everything else is an expense item, and they're short-lived, and most people can't succeed in those. The majority of them, they're all quitters in those things. Every dead gum health MLM network marketing company, very few people ever succeed long-term in those except the top people. The little guy and gal, they might make some money every once in a while and bad, but they're all involved in expenses. I mean, I got my start in personal care and health. It taught me about network marketing, taught me the whole advantage of entrepreneurship, owning your own business, working from home. But there's none better than gold and silver. None. Because we're acquiring assets at the same time we're learning how to drive the ship of entrepreneurship of network marketing. But the more you get off focus from that into some other venture, some other thing, some other deal, some other political thing. I'm not saying not be involved in politics, but don't let it consume you. Believe me, I know I let it consume my life for 15 years while I was still earning an income even in real estate and real estate development. But if you're going to consume yourself with consume yourself with how to get financially free, how to accumulate wealth, learn more and more about how to succeed with God's money, gold and silver, until you do succeed. Make it a commitment to yourself that you're going to do that no matter what. And know that you're going to have a team here behind you to help you. Even if it's part of what I'm doing right here. That's part of someone in your team that's concerned about you and your children's children. teaching you what I know and encouraging you to do the things I know that it takes to be successful, giving you the tools to use to promote, to pique people's interest, to present, to handle objections, to a system of 7 pieces of paper, a proven successful system to success in network marketing. Just 7 pieces of paper, 7 little bitty tiny pieces of paper. Takes no more than 15, 20 minutes to go over with someone and to keep going over with them until they finally get it, that that's all it is, especially those first 2 pieces of paper and the last 2, attitude and belief. Well, I do want, I do want to, well, I guess I can't. I'll tell you what, everything's going to be unrecorded today. And we're going to see how well you can pass this message on to somebody else. I'm sorry. I didn't realize time just floated by me like this. But here's what I'm going to give you. Maybe I could record this real quick. Here, let me do that. Let me record this part. It'll be very quick, and and uh, and it'll be less than a 15-minute recording. So that ought to be pretty good. A lot of people like short stuff. Anyway, the good stuff comes through uh, longer trainings instead of short snippets. Okay, that's a problem with everything wants to be quick, fast, and easy. Well, it ain't quick, fast, and easy. It just ain't. Okay, so let me go ahead and get let me go ahead and get this. I will record this. This is just I wanted it to be a little bit more in depth, but when it's not going to be, so I do want to get that done. And then I want to show you a couple of things real quick. Okay.